Paintings drawn from memories of a lost homeland. In Berlin's suburbs, this art workshop is helping Yazidi men and women rebuild their lives.
Shingal is blood coming from Shingal because Shingal is always injured, in pain and crying.
Like many thousands, they fled in 2014 from northern Iraq after ISIS waged a systematic campaign to exterminate them.
Do you consider yourself lucky?
Yeah, when we hear the shooting and they said the road is closed, nobody can flee. So we didn't believe we will survive. Yeah.
The Yazidi people are a minority religious group living in the Sinjar province in northern Iraq. When Islamic State invaded, around 5,000 Yazidis were killed, more than 6,000 women and children were abducted, forced to convert to Islam and sold into slavery.
We hear that they're taking women and girls and everyone.
Now, London-based international lawyer Professor Aldo Zammit-Borda has made it his mission to bring justice to Yazidis by travelling around the world to find survivors to participate in a truth commission.
A large number of states have recognized the genocide against the Yazidi people, including Australia. However, they have taken very little action to live up to their legal obligations to prevent and punish genocide.
It's here in Germany where world-leading prosecutions against ISIS members for the genocide of the Yazidi have occurred. The latest conviction came in early July.
They want justice, and they won't get justice in their own country. So the only possibility they have at the moment is before national courts, and they are asking for accountability.
In Australia, similar landmark prosecutions are underway.
You're not a threat.
In May, federal police charged 2 women with crimes against humanity. As a signatory to the International Criminal Court, Germany has prosecuted ISIS members for crimes committed during the genocide.
The principle of universal jurisdiction basically means that an international crime can be prosecuted in Germany without the accused being German, without the victim being German, and without the crimes having been committed in Germany. And why is that? Because we see a responsibility for not only the prosecution, but also for accountability for these crimes wherever they have happened.
Few people have seen more of these cases than German lawyer Natalie von Wistinghausen, who has represented Yazidi survivors.
In the cases that I've been involved with, these spouses and their husbands held Yazidi slaves.
Under German law, defendants' identities are protected. In 2021, ISIS husband and wife, known as Jennifer W. and Taha Al-J, were tried over the enslavement of Natalie's client, a Yazidi woman and her 5-year-old daughter. In 2015, in Fallujah, the mother watched on as her child was punished and left to die.
He took her outside in the scorching sun, tied her to a window, and left her there outside. There were something between 40 and 50 degrees Celsius. My client was inside. She was watching what was happening. She couldn't go and help her child. She was afraid of being beaten. Taha AJ and Jennifer W were in the house as well. The child was asking for her mother, but eventually the child lost conscience, and when they brought her in, she was probably already dead. The mother couldn't do anything about it. It's, of course, a nightmare that follows her until today.
Alongside the mother's harrowing testimony, the court heard damning evidence that Jennifer W. made admissions to the crime to undercover police. Taha Al-J was sentenced in 2021 to life imprisonment. Jennifer W. was sentenced to 14 years jail.
The case against Taha A.J., Jennifer W.'s husband, was also the first case where an ISIS member was prosecuted for the genocide of the Yazidi and eventually convicted for the genocide of the Yazidi. So the worldwide conviction, the first time a court finds that the genocide against the Yazidi happened.
In May, a group of Australian citizens, women and children living in internment camps in northern Syria returned to the country to a media storm.
What are you going to do now that you're in Melbourne?
Among them, Zainab Ahmed and her mother Korsa Ahmed, the daughter and wife of known Islamic State fighter Mohammed Ahmed. They're charged with crimes against humanity and using a slave, and in the case against Korsa, purchasing and possessing a slave. The AFP alleges Korsa and Zainab were involved in the enslavement of a Yazidi woman in 2017 who was captured by ISIS in northern Iraq in the years prior.
In this case, the offence itself is enslavement, so enslavement would need to be proven, but it has to have been committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack on a civilian population in order for enslavement to be a crime against humanity.
Australia's initial prosecutions of alleged ISIS members were focused on terrorism offences. International law expert at Monash University, Dr Monique Cormier, says for these cases, federal police are using laws brought in 2002.
We're looking at about a maximum of 10 years in prison for terrorism offences, whereas for the slavery and the enslavement as a crime against humanity offences, potential accused could be looking at up to 25 years in prison per charge.
A key legal question at the heart of these cases is whether these women were ideological participants in the terror group or coerced spouses. Through their lawyers, Korsa and Zainab told the court in separate bail hearings they no longer subscribed to Islamic State ideology. Korsa's legal team said she had begun divorce proceedings against her husband. And in late July, another development in their case. During a hearing here at the Melbourne Magistrates Court, Zainab Ahmed and her mother, Korsa Ahmed, pleaded not guilty to the charges against them and have now been committed to stand trial in the Supreme Court. In Germany, Professor Aldo Zammit-Border and his colleagues are working with the Yazidi diaspora to establish a community-based truth commission into the 2014 genocide.
Truth commissions are normally state-organized. However, in the case of the Yazidi people, no such commission has been organized, and there's a clear need for truths about the Yazidi genocide to come out.
This push for justice is extending beyond Germany to Australia.
The Commission will be connected with Australia by inviting a number of Yazidi witnesses who have moved to Australia to testify and give their stories.
More than 4,000 Yazidis now live in Australia, many resettling after the genocide.
There could be the scenario where you have ISIS members walking freely alongside their victims in Australia or elsewhere. And that's an incredibly worrying and concerning situation.
For Yazidis, justice in the courtroom matters. But for most, like the mother whose daughter was left to die, no verdict can restore what was taken.
She has seen her child dying in front of her eyes. She suffers from nightmares, from anxiety, from a post-traumatic stress disorder. So her daily life is very difficult. However, she's a very strong and positive person. And she gets on with life without complaining. Life for her is survival, I would say.